Earlier, we had a little bit of tension as the Speaker ruled on an issue from last week with Mark Durkan. We watched that play out. We're going to have a look at what Mark Durkan said in a moment. But first of all, just in terms of the rules, what was it the Speaker was ruling on this morning?
Well, essentially, the Speaker was called to rule on a number of matters, but the central one in relation to Mark Durkan was that last week he'd accused Peter Robinson of misleading the Assembly, and Mr Robinson said, look, this is unparliamentary language, the kind of language that would get you thrown out of the chamber, and which, in fact, was similar to what got Iris Robinson thrown out. The issue under discussion was Mr Robinson had said that Margaret Ritchie had told her executive colleagues she already had the legal authority to go ahead and make fuel poverty payments, and he was essentially saying that was the reason why they were having to rush through one now, because they'd found out belatedly that they didn't have that authority. Mark Durkan was challenging that, pulling up documents saying, look, she told you long before that she didn't have the authority and that you would have to legislate. So that was the context which led to him accusing Peter Robinson of misleading MLAs, and then we got this ruling on it this morning. OK, yes, it's very important to accuse somebody of misleading. It can be deemed to be unparliamentary. So Speaker Willie Hay ruled that Mark Durkan should withdraw the remarks that he made last week when he accused Peter Robinson of misleading the Assembly. And this is what the SDLP leader had to say.
I was asked to address the offending term by the Deputy Speaker, so I did. I've been asked to withdraw the offending term by the Speaker, so I will. If I used a handful of words in my challenge to the First Minister that were procedurally incorrect, I withdraw the handful of words that are procedurally incorrect. However, my challenge to the First Minister remains a challenge that he invited after he made statements which misrepresented a ministerial colleague. I believe that the accuracy and the veracity of those statements clearly can be questioned.
Ask the member to come very quickly.
Yeah, can be questioned when set against available facts, including previous statements by the Minister of Social Development in this House. So, as I withdraw my words which were procedurally incorrect, I ask the First Minister to withdraw his words that were factually incorrect.
Order. Now that is completely two different issues. And I will not allow any member to rise on a point of order. I will not allow any member to widen this debate out. I mean, the House is grateful to the member for withdrawing the remark. There are different avenues the member can pursue in how you might deal with this issue, but certainly not this morning or not this afternoon through this House. And I say that to all sides of the House. There are different avenues that issues can be looked at, and if members have a genuine concern of allegations that are made against other members or ministers of this House, and I keep saying there are avenues that members and ministers can go down. Order. Let me make it absolutely clear. I said at the very start that I would not take any points of order on what I ruled on this morning or what members might say. To make it absolutely clear. It would open up the entire debate, and I do not think that would be helpful to the House. I'm extremely happy to talk to members outside the chamber if they're dissatisfied with what's been said in the chamber.
Of order. Well, is it in order for a member to indicate that facts were misleading when that member isn't in possession of the facts and by his own admission was relying on a leak from a dishonourable
order? I would ask the member to take a seat. Once again, I've made it absolutely clear, that I would take no point of order on the rulings I've made this morning. I hear very much what the I hear very much what the First Minister has said. I'm happy enough to, as I said, to talk to any member outside the chamber in what avenues are available to members in saying and doing what they have said.
It's not about this matter particularly, but could you rule when you say a person has to withdraw something, mustn't they withdraw it unconditionally? They cannot say they cannot.
Order. Let me make it absolutely clear. Members will know in this House when the word misleading is directed generally at a member and the member is named. I have allowed some latitude. To members to have a very short introduction and then to do and say what they want to say. And that has been the convention here.
Well, this is Stormont after all, and that wasn't the end of the matter. During a debate on the Financial Assistance Bill, the First Minister, Peter Robinson, said a withdrawal of the comments was not enough, and he called on Mark Durkan to apologise.
The erroneous argument that the passage of this bill was required by accelerated passage because the Executive had not met for 154 days. In aid of that argument, the leader of his party came in with a leak provided to him by some dishonourable person who he has not mentioned. Well, very clearly, I'm sure everybody agrees that somebody who would leak a confidential government document is dishonourable, so I don't think there's any question of that matter. But I'm sure he would accept that the document of the 2nd of October may not have been the end of the issue, and that indeed his own minister came to executive colleagues and indicated that her officials were pursuing with the Departmental Solicitor's Office and with officials from other departments whether another government department had the powers referred to make the payment, and that there is a fistful of correspondence which shows right up to December that the matter had not been closed down, and therefore the challenge has been answered, and I hope that there will not simply be a withdrawal but an apology from the leader of the SDLP.
Order.
Yes, he wouldn't let it lie. Mark, this one's rumbling on a bit.
Yes, it's been rumbling on. I mean, during his ruling, Willie Hay actually said that it was unparliamentary to say that somebody had misled the Assembly. In relation to another matter, he said that it wasn't quite so unparliamentary to suggest that somebody was attempting to mislead, so maybe it's only if you're actually successful in your misleading that you get called to order. But whilst it's rumbling along, I'm not sure about the sort of wider political significance of this. The problem is that the argument that Peter Robinson and Mark Durkan have been having is so convoluted, it's hard to explain it to the voters. And if it's that hard really to get over, I think maybe they need to just sort of call it a day on this one.
OK. Thanks, Mark.